In this short video, I'm going to cover how Chris Boucher got his looks in that third and fourth quarter, and also focus on one particular defensive play that kind of highlighted a larger trend with the Raptors, which is improved closeouts. Before I begin, please do subscribe to this channel if you find the content enjoyable, and give this video a like. We're working very hard to make this channel something useful. So if you find it useful, give us a subscribe or a like. In either case, enjoy some Chris Boucher highlights. I think you got to give credit to Fred for getting this three for Boucher, because he has the attention of all the defenders as he's bringing the ball up the court. But this is also just bad Philly defense. Look at Thibodeau here. He will actually leave Boucher wide open just by Boucher faking a pass to Bembry. It's also him just not reading the scouting report, because you can look at the percentages and the attempts. He should be going to Boucher. So bad Philly defense and some good initial penetration by Van Vliet to attract attention here. Boucher is being guarded by Dwight Howard here, who he absolutely tore apart in this fourth quarter, and this play shows how out of sync Howard really was. Philly literally has every single player in great defensive rebounding position, but Howard still leaves Chris Boucher to go to the rim. The only thing in Howard's defense is that Siakam arguably traveled on this play because he faked his shot by leaving his foot. Just take a look right here. So you can excuse that one, but still pretty poor defense by Howard and an easy find by Siakam. This play is all about Chris Boucher's length, because if you have a shorter player like Fred on here, he has to do a little bit of maneuvering to get open. But because of Boucher's length, he's able to shoot that. Let me show you what I mean. So as you roll this, Boucher will set a screen on Curry and Bembry will attack, which will force Howard to deal with Bembry. Philly's strategy here is not to switch on the pick and roll because they don't want Curry guarding Boucher. Instead, they want to rotate, and in this case, the rotation responsibility falls to Shake Milton over there. And this is Chris Boucher's length. I mean, he's so tall, he's got such reach that he can shoot over anybody, let alone Shake Milton trying to cover him from like 8 feet out and running at him. So his length in these situations is invaluable. In the last play we reviewed, Philly couldn't do a switch because they didn't want Curry on Boucher. That makes total sense because, Boucher's size is a big advantage there. But in this situation, they still don't switch even though they have the personnel to do it. Siakam is the guy who will set a little screen there for Boucher by brushing off Harris there. Philly could have just switched Simmons onto Boucher and have Harris go down to meet Siakam. This would result in that space not being created for Boucher, because the way it stands right now, Boucher's length is more than sufficient to shoot over that ground which Harris has to cover. I love this play because I love when guys compete hard on the offensive glass but are still able to come back and get a block. You don't see this too often, but when you do see it, it's a pretty great thing to see. And here it is. He contests hard for the offensive board. He just flies in, doesn't get it. That's cool. He's out of bounds. And as this play continues, he's the last guy on the court right now. He has to make up ground against everybody. But here's the advantage of being so far back. People tend to forget about you, and that's what Embiid does. I think he just loses sight that Boucher is behind him, so when it comes time for him to go up, he is completely surprised by Boucher, and he gets the block. And to his credit, not only does he get the block, he actually controls the ball and starts the play the other way. This play is from earlier in the game, and I picked it because the Raptors have generally gotten a lot better at closing out. They're not nearly as aggressive as they were earlier in the season, and Chris Boucher here demonstrates that. He has to close out Harris here, but he doesn't just come and just try to contest a shot right away. He knows he's got length, so he plays the right angle and forces Harris into a drive, but into a drive where Harris has a defender, which is Davis, there to deal with, but also Chris Boucher himself is in a good defensive position. So Harris has really nowhere to go and didn't get bailed out by an aggressive closeout. So instead what he does is he pulls back, and guess what? Boucher has the length to actually contest a shot as well. So a great example of the Raptors using their length to cover both the drive and the shot, with some intelligent play by the main guy, Boucher, and also some smart help defense by Davis right there.